Why does it look like I'm bald? Right.
There's a vision of starting over nobody films. Not to glow up. The part where you're 45, back at zero, and too embarrassed to even say out loud what you're scared of. And I'm going to say it anyway. Hi, I'm Celine. I'm 45, and I quit my job last September. And I'm starting over. And my dream is to be a content creator full-time at 45. Welcome to my living room, because it's the most decent room, to my opinion, where I can film those YouTube videos. Okay, so the aim of this second YouTube video is to actually talk about the shame, the guilt that we can have when we start over after 40 or 45 or 50, whatever. Is that sometimes you start lower than zero. Let me give you an example. When I was 23, I lived in Montreal, and I had that hobby that I really loved, that was scrapbooking and mixed media. I started teaching classes there, and when I went back to France, I was like, okay, I have this crappy job that I don't enjoy. Why don't I try to actually do scrapbooking as a full-time job? And I did it. I did it for over 10 years. And it was amazing. I built a community of people. I traveled to over 40 countries in the world. I published a book, and I met some amazing people there. And some of them are still my friends today. And then what happened is that I got pregnant, and we decided to stop everything scrapbooking-wise. And that was then the second time I had to start over. And what happened last September when I quit my job is that I quit and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was more like, okay, I know that the only thing I want to do is leave. Not that I didn't like the company I worked for, and not that I didn't love the people there. It was just like a gut feeling. Like, I truly believe that I don't belong to the corporate world. I've always been a creative person. I need to create something, and I need to create something on my own and be my own boss. So when I quit my job, I had no idea of what I wanted to do. So what I did is that I signed up for an online class to learn more about AI and no code. And I've signed up for a second course that I'm still taking that I love, because I'm obsessed with everything automation and no code and AI, but for content creation. And the thing is, even though it took me years to build communities during the scrapbooking years, during my network marketing years, I quit my job with no idea of what I would do. And now that I know I have this feeling, I have this dream of becoming a full-time content creator, now that I know that, I sometimes feel ashamed to say, hey, this is what I want to do, but I need to start over. Like, I do have followers, but on my Instagram account and even on this YouTube channel, I have followers and subscribers, but those people that I love, and I love you. But you've probably been following me from the scrapbooking days or my wellness era. And today I feel like I need to speak out and tell more stories of what's going on in my life, and stop being ashamed, of saying I'm starting over from scratch, because sometimes it's the best kind of, start when you have nothing. I mean, when I say nothing, I have a home, I have a car, and I have money on the side. So I'm blessed and grateful for that. But it's like, when at 45, when you compare yourself with people online, then yeah, sometimes I'm like, when somebody asks me, what are you going to do now? Sometimes I don't really want to know what that person thinks if I tell him, her, that I want to be a content creator. So yeah, That is my shame number one. Then shame number two would be, I'm too old for this shit. I'm sure you know this moment when you scroll on your Instagram account, watching those 25-year-old content creators sharing their successes, sharing their wins, and saying they achieved something in a couple of months while you've been trying for months and months and sometimes years to reach 10K followers or 1,000 euros a month with your content creation. And yeah, I think I have this thought sometimes that, it's not too late, but it feels like it. You know what I mean? And does it really has to be with being older compared to other content creators? Or is it because we start later that we think that it's too late for us? And what I have loved for a couple of months is seeing women my age, even older, that are so successful in content creation, in UGC, and that kind of thing. And in some way, I think the older we get, the fearless we can be. I think I am living that moment right now, being fearless, even though talking in this micro, speaking to the camera, can feel a little bit daunting and scary. I still think that my voice, my opinions, my expertise can be valuable to a couple of you. But yeah, the age thing can be like something that prevent us, women over 40, to actually thrive. And I think we need to stop that. Seriously, we need to stop thinking it's too late. We need to stop preventing ourselves from doing what we really want to do. Sometimes when you hear online or with your friends that the older we get, the less we care, I think we should live this. We should live that moment. And the older I get, the less I care. I don't care most of the time. Most of the time, I don't care what people think about my look, about my age, about my opinions. But there is still this little voice inside that says, hey, girl, or should I say, elder woman, calm down. It's a little too late for you. And that makes me angry, to hear that little voice. So I think that we need to change this. And I want to encourage all women over 40 to just think about the dreams that they used to have, whether it's content creation, starting a new hobby, doing an IROX, or traveling alone. Let's say that those examples would work. Do it. Do it, because one day when we hit 80, there, maybe it's going to be a little bit too late. Shame number 3 is more like a personal feeling, because in my previous businesses, in my scrapbook business, at one point we failed. We had to close the company. It didn't make enough money to pay my husband and my ex-husband today. And we had to stop, and we had to find another job. And that's when I started to give network marketing a chance. And I succeeded for 5 years. But in the scrapbooking time, when I decided to stop everything, I had that feeling of failure so deep. I was so sad, so devastated to actually stop. I was pregnant, so I guess the hormones were hitting at some point. But I was crying every single day of my pregnancy for the first months. And it was hard. It was really hard. And today, with the idea of starting over and reaching out to my old scrapbooking community, I feel like that those people would judge me saying, hey, look, she failed. And now she's trying to do it all over again. Maybe she will fail again. And at some point that can upset me a little bit. But in a way, I'm more like, yeah, maybe I will fail. Maybe I won't be a full-time content creator. Maybe in a year I will have to search for another job. And yeah, that's the game. But during 1 year, I want to do it all. I want to give myself 100% into this project and succeed. I know at some point I will succeed, but would it be a full-time gig? I have no idea yet. But I want to do it. I want to try. I'd rather try and fail rather than not do it at all and have regrets. But still, I have those, some kind of fears. It's not fear, but it's more like a worry that I will get judged. But, yeah. So what do we do now? We're scared. What am I going to do? There is something that I have always loved doing, and it is blogging. I started blogging when I was in Montreal. And I'm not saying that I still have the same blog, 20 years later. That's not the case. I've had multiple blogs, but the one that I have now, I've been blogging for like maybe 6-7 years on that platform. I'm using Squarespace. Best blogging platform ever, if you want my opinion. So I'm doing the whole blogging thing, and everybody's going to be like, what the hell? It's all about social media. Yeah, social media is important, but long-form content is way better because you actually work on a content that stays and lives forever compared to your social media. So if you compare, an Instagram post lives about, max 48 hours. Except maybe that one viral reel I made in March that still gains views. I don't know. I cannot explain this. So yeah, your Instagram post will live for, let's say, 24 hours. But my blog post or my YouTube video will have a longer life than on Instagram or on TikTok. And I think I have many things to say, and that video and my blog can be my favorite platforms to actually share what's going on in my content creation, where I will share numbers and how I automate my systems for my content creation or my social media or anything admin and boring. So yeah, I'm going to actually focus on my blog and YouTube as my base, okay? So I will do YouTube, and then there's going to be a blog post about this new video you're watching. And then I'm going to work on, leveraging my blog as well with affiliate marketing and, coming up with digital products and that kind of thing. That is goal number 1. Monetize this YouTube channel and monetize my blog within a year. Of course, I'm going to use Pinterest to drive traffic to my blog, my YouTube videos, my content on Instagram, my lead magnets, and everything I create will be shared on Pinterest. I have loved Pinterest since day one. I joined the platform since day one there. And it has been one of the best platforms where I can actually gain traffic and money as well. There's going to be one social media. And that is going to be Instagram, even though I have this love-hate Sorry for that. Even if I have this love-hate relationship with the platform, I have loved Instagram, but sometimes I hate it because you have to change the way that you create content. You have to adapt yourself. It's pretty different when you actually work on long-form content, to my opinion. And yeah, Instagram can be time-consuming if you decide to scroll for hours and be inspired by other content creators and coaches. And I'm going to unfollow a lot of people because I tend to, one, waste time scrolling on the platform, and two, think that these people are way better than myself, which is probably true, but I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like crap. Because you have that feeling when you start over or when you start that you're not good enough. I don't want to feel that way. So Instagram is going to be a tool where I repurpose content, where I want to be myself on the platform. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to do too much. I want to have fun on Instagram. So my goal is to actually brainstorm and think and come up with strategies for my long-form content. And then repurpose that content and have it on Instagram, well, with, like a fun vibe. I want to be myself. And I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to pretend that I am someone else, especially there on that platform. So, yeah, and I'm already overthinking it. Like, yeah, I want to be myself and authentic and blah, 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 and not overthinking. I'm already overthinking the way that I cannot overthink. Oh, I'm tired. So I'm not going to say that if you start over like me at over 40, I'm not going to say, you got this, you're the best, and it's easy, because it's not. Actually, it's not. We people over 40, we overthink things way too much, especially in that industry, because it's full of young people. So what's gonna happen here on this YouTube channel is that in my next videos, I'm going to share exactly the things that I'm building in this content creation business. I want to show you that it's not difficult to come up with ideas, digital products, and systems, especially that yours truly know a little bit about AI and no-code and automations, but yeah, don't tell him. So yeah, I'm going to share blogging stuff, social media stuff, things that I'm building, and I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to, I'm not going to vlog about my life because I don't like to talk about my private stuff anyway. So, but I want to inspire you, if you want to be a content creator at over 40, that it's not that you don't know AI or you don't know automations or you don't know no code, that you cannot do it. And I want to be able to show you some easy things that you can do to, be more productive and, write faster and search faster and everything faster. We're not going to use AI for, making an avatar or things like this. But this is what I'm going to share in my next videos and tell you how life is going for me as a growing content creator. So, yeah, subscribe to my channel, follow me for more adventures, and salut, au revoir.